Welcome back to you and the Minnesota Task Force One as they return home from the Texas flooding rescue mission that they were on. The team was called for help after the catastrophic flooding hit Texas 3 weeks ago. I met with Task Force One and spoke with them about what they call a life-changing experience. As the world watched on,
photos and videos don't do it justice.
A group of Minnesotans answered the call.
I want to start by thanking the members of Task Force One for their hard work.
The Task Force One team is home and recovering from one of the largest rescue missions of their careers.
The numbers that I've heard, somewhere around $200 billion worth of damage and structures. And
Brian Plants is on the team that went to Texas following the catastrophic flooding that killed dozens and left at one point hundreds of people missing.
Typically around here, we are doing wide area searches for one missing person. We've done several of those operations. A lot of the skills and knowledge that we use in those were very applicable down in Texas, but the scale of the mission down there was just something we couldn't train for.
But two things that are well trained, Royal and Red.
The dogs were rock stars. They were outstanding. It was more that we had to hold the dogs back because they're so driven and they wanted to keep going. But we learned very early on that you needed to give them like a 30-minute work cycle and then 5-minute break. The destruction there was just massive. So having the canines there to partner with, to have them be able to clear those piles and definitively say that we can move past this, we can say that there's not a human remains inside that pile, was just critical to the mission.
They say the humidity was tough and things got even trickier when one of the dogs was bitten by red ants and had to go visit the vet, where they also discovered a broken toe.
Caring for them, and they were just awesome down there to keep our dogs working and able to keep going.
But members of the task force say that their challenges don't compare to what Texans were facing.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the number of family photographs that we would find. I will just remember the personal stories of people that came up and thanked us.
Morgan Wolf, breaking the news. If you are a frequent visitor of North Commons Park, listen up because big changes are coming. The Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board broke ground on the project that will transform the 25.7-acre park in North Minneapolis. Now get this, it is the largest investment in Minneapolis with $45 million in federal, state, local, and private funds going into that neighborhood park there. The project aims to bring a new 22,000 square foot field house that would provide an indoor space for athletic events. And now it also includes a new water park and the renovation of the community center. Park officials say that they expect this project to be complete by 2027. North Commons Community Center and most of the North Commons Park will remain open into 2026. Parents, the story is for you. If your child's sleep schedule has been derailed over the summer, there is still time to give it a little fix before school bells ring. Jeremiah Jacobson tells us more.
In the classroom, the recipe for success starts before your student even gets to school. One of the main ingredients is sleep.
It's just as important as exercise and nutrition when it comes to children's ability to learn and grow and thrive.
Dr. Caroline Weingart with Nationwide Children's Hospital says if your child's sleep routine was derailed during summer, you're not alone. But you can start to reset that routine before school starts back by walking back their bedtime, but do it gradually.
Moving the bedtime up 15 minutes every night for 1 to 2 weeks until they're going to bed at the time that they'll be going to bed during the school year is one way to get them back on a normal sleep schedule.
Weingart says to make sure all phones and other devices are put away, ideally at least an hour before bed, in order to get their brain into sleep mode. She says to also focus on what time they wake up, have them start getting out of bed at the time they'll need to do so for school, and while she says it's okay to sleep in a little on the weekends, keep their wake-up time within an hour of when they get out of bed during the week.
So if they normally get up at 6:30 during the school week, get them up by about 7:30 on the weekend if possible, just to make it a little bit easier come Sunday night when it's time for them to go to bed.
And there is still much fun to have. The largest music festival in the country arrives in the Windy City this Thursday. Sabrina Carpenter, Luke Combs, Olivia Rodrigo, and Rufus Du Sol are among the performers to hit the stage in Grant Park. The festival will take place for 4 days starting July 31st to August 3rd. Lollapalooza. It is a big hit. For those unable to attend in person, though, the show will be available on the streaming service Hulu. Hey, trick-or-treaters, Halloween is already back at Home Depot. Can you believe it? It might be some time until the big day, but you can find the new Halloween decorations online starting August 4th. And Home Depot's giant 12-foot skeleton returns this year with new friends, a 5-foot-tall dog and cat. A treat for the pet lovers. Stick with us. We have more news and weather coming up after the break.